Bandwidth for First Updates Now is supported by AndyMark. Are you competition ready? Go to andymark.com and keep your team inspired. And by the Blue Alliance. Keep up to date on all live and archived First Robotics events and team stats at thebluealliance.com. First Updates Now is brought to you by viewers like you. Fun relies on the generous support of our fans in order to continue to keep creating content. Please consider donating, giving bits, or subscribing. Subscribe for a few bucks a month or for free through Twitch Prime. And don't forget that our subscribers get 5x chance to win on all giveaways. Coming up on First Updates Now, it's the FRC Top 25 show, and hey, week 3 events are complete. We have the drive coach from 1114 Robotics, the international recap from Jesser for weeks 2 and 3, and you'll hear all about the top 25 teams as voted by now nearly 400 voters in the community. We have a new record here, guys. And also, we got Mike here with the snub of the week. And if we have a little bit of spare time, we'll take a couple of your questions in chat live. Reporting for First Updates Now, I'm Tyler Olds.
And I'm Mike Stark.
I'm Justin Montoys.
And I'm Christina Tia. Pauline Taskey has the night off.
Christine, great to have you back as always. What are we expecting from you today as far as your drawings?
So I will be drawing one of the most unique robots that we've seen so far that just debuted during week 3, and that is 971. So I am excited to be giving this drawing away near the end of the show tonight.
Sweet. Yeah, it's been a while, Christine. Great to have you back. Been a busy couple of weeks for you, huh?
Oh, yeah. But it's good to be back. I'm excited to be, back on and drawing.
Perfect. In addition to that, we're going to have two other fantastic giveaways tonight. The first one is courtesy of FRC1720, the Fixed Gears. We've been featuring these guys before, but they're the creators of the Bat Hawk. When we're near the end of the show, we'll receive a 4-pack of these awesome devices that instantly let you know if your battery has the voltage for your next match. Our second sweet giveaway is from our friend Jesser from 4613, the Barker Redbacks, for a Team Polo. So if your name is Justin Montoys, listen up. To win, make sure you follow or subscribe and type in the specific keyword when prompted. Don't forget that subscribers get 5 times luck on drawings, and you can subscribe for free through Prime or for just a few bucks a month. If you're watching on TBA Game Day, make sure you come to our channel and subscribe or give bits. If you're not watching live, you can still subscribe to Support Fund, or we always welcome donations as well. We need your help to continue making great content, so thank you to those who have been willing to step up and let us know that you appreciate our content and what we've been doing.
For sure, and we won't make him sit awkwardly on the screen anymore, so we're going to introduce our guest for tonight is Caleb Dodd. He's the drive coach for 1114 Symbotics. He's been on the team since high school and is now a software mentor on the team. Welcome to the show, Caleb.
Thanks for having me.
So, Caleb, we're delighted to have you on, and a lot of stuff to talk about, especially with Ryerson and what's to come for 1114. But let's take a couple minutes to kind of step back a little bit. You mentioned you were a student on 1114. How did that translate into becoming the drive coach?
So I started coaching in some 2015 off-season events. And then in 2016, I was the driver. But then after I graduated, I continued to coach again in off-season events. And then it just kind of made sense for me because I go to university in St. Catharines to become drive coach because I could spend more time practicing than some of our mentors that live further away. Like Ben, for example, he had to make a drive down every weekend to come practice. So it just kind of made sense for me to drive coach.
That's good. What year did you graduate high school, Caleb?
2016 was my last year. So I've been a mentor for this is my second year mentoring.
Okay. So in your first year drive coaching?
I was drive coach last year too.
Oh, you said that. Okay, perfect. Awesome. Yeah. Cool. So obviously off to another great start, another impressive year so far. So how did 1114 kind of go about tackling this whole power-up challenge? And what maybe design decisions and trade-offs did you guys have to make this year?
So looking at power-up, it was another year with the 4 ranking point system. So it's always nice to try and get those 4 ranking points. But this year we decided that since there was no bonus points for those ranking points in the elimination rounds, that we probably weren't going to go for the lifting another robot because it was a pretty difficult challenge. So instead, we decided to make a robot that instead of ranking first, it would be the first overall pick at the events we go to and be the good elimination spot. early in the year, we noticed that being able to score backwards through you could speed up vault cycles and could also make autonomous modes easier because you don't have to turn around. So that's why we decided to go with the wide elevator and the pass-through intake. And then just for climbing, we decided why not put 4775s on our elevator, and then we could just climb with the elevator and not have to have a 2-speed gearbox or anything like that. And it just kind of keep everything as simple as possible.
Cool. I know if the presentation you guys have been done for a lot of years, and as Karthik has talked about a lot, is about those robot points and how best to kind of spend those. And it's great to kind of hear you guys, practicing what you preach, and kind of that was really interesting. So thank you so much for sharing that.
And as Tower mentioned, your team had a great weekend at Ryerson. You seeded second with the best win-loss record, was selected by the number 1 seed, 5406 Celtex, who had a great buddy climb, and it was very complimentary to you, as you kind of already alluded to. So walk us through this event, kind of from your perspective. What challenges you overcome, successes you had, and what eventually allowed you to be allied with 5406?
During the qualification matches, most things went pretty well. A lot of the time, we were able to just put a couple cubes on the scale, and we wouldn't have to worry about it for the rest of the match, so we could focus on doing the switch and doing the vault. Luckily, we were able to send people around in the pits to help out other teams, so we were able to write drive straight auto modes to try and get that ranking point as often as possible. Throughout the event, we had it seemed like every third match or so we would die for about 30 seconds. We weren't quite sure what the issue was. We swapped literally every electrical component. We did some test matches in the morning and just started slamming into stuff. But it seemed that all of the second day we didn't have any problems. And then so we looked good in our last couple matches without disconnecting. And then we also showed off our 2-cube auto when we were with Celtex in a qualification match. So I think that kind of pushed them over the edge to, even though we might disconnect, it's still worth picking us.
So I got to ask for your 2-cube auto on there, as you guys developed through the build season and you went through, like, what was your decision in regards to what specifically you want to go for? And then what is the kind of the end ambition? Like, I mean, we've seen now 3 and 4 cubes and that sort of thing. So, I mean, when are we seeing the 6-cube Simbot auto coming out?
Yeah, so during qualification matches, we just do 2 on the switch. We might do like 1 on the switch, 1 on the scale, depending on if we're against another scale team. But for limbs, we've been working hard on trying to get a 3-cube auto, trying to speed things up. And we're also, part of that's going to help us with that is we're working on a new intake. So instead of shooting straight through us, the intake can actually rotate, sort of similar to 254 or 179. And we're hoping that can push us over the top and go from a 2-cube to a 3-cube.
Sweet. So one last question. I want to give you, you're our software mentor, so I want to give you a chance to talk about any cool things you guys are doing with robots as far as software. What language you guys programming in, encoders, cool motion profiling, anything like that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so we're doing motion profiling on the drive. We actually just have a Talon PID for the elevator, 1 for going up, 1 for going down. We don't actually have any like constant force springs or anything like that. We just do like software, like apply 4% all the time, and that kind of holds it up against gravity. We like to do things like pretty simple software wise. Like we kind of have that same mentality on our whole team, just is do the thing as simple as possible. We have some light sensors on our intake that light up an LED, so we know when we have a cube. We just do neat little optimizations like that that we'd like to come out at our first event, just a little bit more prepared than the other teams, And,
yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Awesome, Caleb. Well, thanks for giving us kind of that inside look at what you guys are running. So up next, you guys will kind of join an amazing lineup of teams, including some from Michigan. So kind of give us a little preview of your next event and kind of any improvements or anything you guys are going to be implementing going into that one.
Yeah, so Windsor will be pretty interesting. I'd say there's about 4 like pretty top tier scale bots there. So there's 33, 610, us, and 3538 that are going to be there. It'll be interesting because I don't think any of us have any sort of ramp system. We don't plan on adding one for that event. I don't know if any other teams would be adding one. So it's going to come down to the schedule and how teams kind of face off against each other. Right now, we're working on a new intake system that can pick up the cubes in all orientations and can also open up with pneumatics so that you can just drop the cubes and place them a lot neater than just outtaking them. And we're going to try and have it rotate back so we can do the vault similar to how 254 does the vault without having to turn around.
Wow. That's pretty sweet. Yeah,
I love it. Pretty cool. So Caleb, thanks so much for coming on the show, man. We've always loved the support. 1114 in all of Ontario and all of Canada has really supported us over the years. So thank you for that. And best of luck to you guys and to 1114 going forward.
Thank you.
Thanks, man.
Thanks, Caleb.
Yeah, see it.
All right, so we're going to move on to our next segment here in just a moment, and we'll get our set retransition back here. But we do have something that we missed on last week because there's a lot that's been going on is our international recap that we've had going on. It's been a big hit, not only in our international community, but people from the States and North America as well. So this, if you haven't seen our new initiative, check out our region recaps. Those take place on Monday during the competition season. Those will cover pretty much everybody in North America, and those are broken up into 6 different regions, including a show in Spanish, which has been starting to grow a lot. Actually, we're starting to get a lot more people watching.
I hopped in the chat and just said "Hola, amigos," and then that's all I got.
Right?
That's all I had.
But the enthusiasm they have is nuts, though. Like,
yeah, it's great.
It's so cool, and I understand Spanish barely, and just like you just all of a sudden start hearing the enthusiasm they bring. It's so cool. But we have some great hosts, local hosts from the areas. Go and check those out on Monday, starting at 7:30 p.m. Eastern on the East Coast, and then moving on over the West Coast as well in 30-minute blocks. We do also have another Australia recap show. It's coming. We're trying to get that figured out, so keep that in mind. But our good friend and host, our Aussie Jesser, coming in from 4613 Barker Redbacks, has put together this really cool international recap video that's going to cover weeks 2 and 3 because this team was competing the last 2 weeks at both Australia events. So let's go ahead and take a look at the FRC and Fun International Recap.
Welcome back to Fun International. This week we have a lot to catch up. An event in Australia, 2 events in China, a brand new regional in Turkey, and 4 district events in Israel. So let's go directly to our weekly recap. So let's start with Israel, the country where you can have fun doing field reset. Everybody talks about how competitive Michigan, Toronto, and California are, but truly Israel is the toughest region to play FRC in the world today. With 80 teams in a country you can cross just driving a couple of hours, the well-known teams like Bumblebee, Orbit, Miscar, and the White Team struggles every year to win their events. Just to put in perspective, you definitely remember Team 1690 Orbit, one of the best robots last year, sitting first at a not easy Carver division and an Einstein finalist in 2016. Well, 2016 is also the last time they won an event in Israel. So they never won a single district event, and their last chance to win this year will be at the very hard district championship. Quite tough, right? To prove that is the fact that after 4 district events this year, we have 11 different teams out of possible 12 winner spots. At the first event, Team 1574 Miscar seated first and won the event in alliance with 1577 Steampunk and 6741 Space Monkeys. At the second event, Team 2231 Onyxtronics lead the Alliance 4 to win with teams 4320 The Joker and 3075 Hadrin Team. Alliance number 3 won the third event with teams 3316 Debug, 1580 The Blue Monkeys, and Team 4586 Primo. And on event number 4, Team 1577 Steampunk seated first and won their second event with teams 3339 Bumblebee and 1942 Telnot. So congratulations for Team 1577 Steampunk for being able to win 2 events in Israel, and don't forget to watch all these teams in action again at the Israeli District Championships in week 5. Now let's move on to China. At Shenzhen Regional, we had 35 teams from China, Poland, UK, and Turkey competing for 7 championship spots. Ranked first, Team 5883 Spice Gears from Poland got the gold with teams 5453 Red Comet and 5849 Joker, both from China. 5883 also got Chairman's Award, but they didn't stop there. This leads us to the inaugural Shanghai Regional, where they got the Wood Flowers with Darius Glukowski, and their 4th blue banner, winning the event with Team 6907 the gold and 6941 Iron Pulse Robotics from Shanghai, China. Also, congratulations to the Chinese team 5515 Blue Power Robotics on their Chairman's Award winning. So if you got the Blue Alliance insights right now, you see a team from Poland leading the blue banner run with 4 blue banners. So well done Team 5883. Now, welcome to Turkey. The inaugural Istanbul Regional was a real party with 37 teams from all over Turkey and 1 team from Norway. Team 6429 4 Dimension got Chairman's Award and won the event in alliance with Team 7140 Oxef Robotics and 7293 Pi Team. Moving on to Australia, or best known by the place where Chewbacca sends his child to do FRC. Solar Cross region had 31 teams coming from Australia, India, China, Taiwan, Singapore, Vietnam and Hawaii. Do you remember Team 4253 Raid Zero from Taipei, Taiwan? They ranked first and aligned with the well-known Barker Redbacks, and the coolest team in Australia right now, 4802 Blacktown Girls, and won the event. Also in Australia, India got their 1st and 2nd blue banners, with Team 6024 R Factor from Mumbai, winning Chairman's Award and Wood Flowers finalist with Nilesh Shah. If you want to know what happened in the inaugural Canadian Pacific Regional and in the Australian South Pacific Regional, don't forget to catch up with our region recaps. Also this week we had 14 teams from 6 different countries traveling to regions in North America. After a very good start at Palmetto Regional, Team 4481 Rembrandts from Netherlands won Orlando Regional this week. Also from Netherlands, Team 6968 Team Pi won the Rookie All-Star Award at Arizona North Regional. And at New York Tech Valley Regional, Team 1156 Under Control won the event and the Chairman's Award. Now they are heading west to play the Iowa Regional next week. So that's it, this is what I have for tonight. Make sure you tune in next week because we'll not only talk about the FRC international teams, we also talk about our first topic, registration costs. For you, a good night. Now back to top 25.
Awesome. So thanks, Jester, for another awesome video. That was great. It's really just cool. He does a great job just kind of really summing up what's been going on around the world, literally. So it's pretty cool. Thank you for that. So before we dive into the top 25 here, we're going to check with Christine and let us know how we're doing on this 971 robot. Christine, what is going on the scale up there?
Heyo. So when I first saw 971's robot this year, obviously it is one of the most unique looking robots we've seen so far in the power up season. But my first thought was it looked like one of those police robots that goes and defuses bombs or saves cats from trees. So
or the scale.
They're saving a kitten from the scale.
That's amazing.
That's so great.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And we're giving that away, guys. So
Yes,
if you want to get that, that is the one that Christine actually draws, so you have an opportunity to win. So don't forget, subscribers get 5 times luck to get that, and we appreciate your support as well.
The one-off. You're not going to find anywhere else. All right, so with that, we're ready for the top 25. Tyler had mentioned it earlier. We received nearly 400 votes from the community, which is a new record. That is incredible. That is just humbling for sure. So if you're interested in voting for the top 25 robots for that week of robots who competed, make sure you check out our website, firstupdatesnow.com, our Facebook page, or Chief Delphi. Voting is open from 6 p.m. Eastern Sunday through 6 p.m. Eastern Monday, so you get that 24-hour window to get your votes in. And 4 of you did that.
How many did that?
400.
I heard 4.
What did I say?
I think
you
you
really?
4.
And 4 of you did that.
4 of you got it on time. No worries.
This is going to be a biased top.
We just timed your votes by 100, actually.
Yeah.
Love it.
Oh, well.
All right. So one more quick plug for our new apparel from First Style, including an option to grab a team shirt that says, hey, our team was featured on the top 25. We're trying to keep this cost as low as possible, like we've mentioned. So flat $5 shipping to the US and Canada. So go ahead and order them for your whole team. International shipping also available. You can find the link you can find our apparel on the link at firstupdatesnow.com or by going to shopfirststyle.com. We also have a 10% off coupon available on our website, or you can use code FUN10. Is the exclamation point fun of a part of that or no?
No, nope, just fun 10. Sorry about that.
That's okay.
Fun 10.
Yeah, fun,
Fun
and it is good
10.
for any. It is good for any of their apparel, but they created that code for us. So yeah, guys, fun 10, and you get an additional 10% off your order. Pretty sweet.
Sounds good. All right. Top 25 of week 3. You ready, Justin?
I guess so.
All right. So we actually had a tie for our 24th spot. So there's a tie for 25 and 24. Tyler, was there a certain tiebreaker that we used for that?
Nope.
All righty. So the team that's in our 25th spot, it's going to be team 5803.
The 25th, 24th spot is team 5803 from Seattle, Washington. Seattle Christian Schools. It's Apex Robotics, 30-7 overall. And we're the winners of the Auburn District event. So after starting their season in Clackamas, where they ranked 5th and advanced to the finals. This past weekend in Auburn, they seeded 1st and went on to win the event. So I don't know if you've had a chance to check it out. It's a really cool robot. Top and bottom intake looks a lot. Actually reminds me a lot of, we were just talking about Orbit, but a lot of Orbit's robot in 2016, if you remember that. So really low to the ground, kind of shooter puncher method, and it just works really well. It's cool, different robot. So if you haven't seen it, take a look at it. They'll have another district event later on this year at West Valley before certainly a trip to the Pacific Northwest Championship. So good luck to 5803 Apex Robotics.
That disc break though. Yeah, it's a sharp looking robot.
They are, and that's Evan Morrison's team out in the Pacific Northwest.
Oh,
so
really?
great. Yeah, so they do great job out there, and they've been that robot's been continuing just to grow each year, and that team is starting to get better and better. So big kudos to Evan out there in the Pacific Northwest.
And I've got to draw their robots every year the last 2 years, so I love that team.
Oh, cool.
I'm excited to see them do well again this year. So
Yeah.
Sweet.
yay.
Nice.
All right, moving to so this is the team they were tied with, correct?
Yes.
Yep.
All right. So the other tie for the 25th, 24th spot, team number 2706.
From Ontario, Canada, and Ottawa West Community Robotics and Neighborhood Group, it's Merged Robotics, an overall record of 14-4. They were the finalists at the Ontario District Ryerson University event. So I believe this is the first time they've been in the top 25. And as we always say, competing in that tough Ontario district has always proven to be a challenge, but we keep seeing these teams every year kind of rise up and make the top 25 here. So 2706 makes their mark on the Power Up season after ranking 6th with their ranking score average of 2.16. They were selected to the number 2 overall alliance, and 2706 is just steady as she goes in this game. She just continues and consistently puts up cubes up on the scale and can climb here at the end. So congrats on the finalist medal to them. Good luck at North Bay. And this is this week's first Kling Bling as they picked up the Engineering Inspiration Award as well. So the silver for them.
So subs, let's get some silvers in chat for our awesome team. Yeah, thank you. Kling Bling, baby.
How do we do that? Okay, got it.
How do we do it? Just like that, guys.
We got it. 2706. That's Merge Robotics. Congratulations, guys. I always love seeing like who's gonna like teams that Ontario just has so many teams and then to see which teams every year are kind of gonna make their mark is always fun to watch.
Definitely.
So that was our 25-24 spot, and in our 23 spot is going to be team 1983.
So I'm sticking it out in the Pacific Northwest from Seattle, Washington, Aviation High School at Skunkworks Robotics, 15-4 overall. The winners, the Auburn District event. So Skunkworks took the field for the first time this season, and they ranked 5th overall following the qualification rounds. They were scooped up first, and they went to the finals, taking the district win in that decisive third finals match. So 1983 is a great all-around robot, is able to assist their alliance effectively in the vault, the switch, or the scale. And you can catch the 1983 machine in action again just this weekend at Glacier Peak. So, Mike, the team we've talked about a number of times in the top 25, and congrats to 1983 Skunkworks Robotics.
I'm lost in the chat.
It happens.
Says, hey Mike, thanks for the help with my appendix, by the way. True hero. What did I do?
I think this brick guy is just
it a different Mike?
Posting some weird stuff. I don't know.
Let's just keep going.
Yeah.
All right. Sounds good. Take it away, Joe.
This man derails the whole show.
He did. It's done.
All right. So on the 22nd spot, we have team number 2046.
From Maple Valley, Washington, into Tahoma Senior High School, it's Bare Metal, an overall record of 33-4. They were the winners of the Clackamas District event, and they were the finalists this past weekend at the Auburn event. So coming off their win at the Clackamas event, Bare Metal makes their second top 25 appearance of the year after they ranked second after 12 qualification matches at the Auburn event, captaining their own alliance. They would face the number 1 seed in the finals. Bouncing back after losing finals match 1, they would win that match too, but just fall short in the rubber match. So again, they have a nice quick elevator with effective grabber to release cubes high up on the scale. So good luck to them, and I didn't see any other events for them. So good luck at the district championships out there. And I think that's our third Pacific Northwest team of the.
Yeah, I was just going to mention that. That's awesome.
And when I was watching the finals matches, that event to look at 5803 and 1983. Bare Metal really caught my eye too. I mean, their robot is really, really impressive. Looks really solid. So another great robot from them.
Oh, I misread. I misread what he said. I took care. I took care of that kid in the hospital. That's what he's talking about. His appendix.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That's what.
Oh, so quite literally an appendix.
Literally appendix. I was thinking like something robotics related,
or like a book, like a rules or something like that.
Yeah,
right?
I was like, I went
look at Appendix G.
Yeah, I was like, so confused.
Mike on another rule situation, I tell you. So.
We're back.
We're back. Alrighty, so into our 21st spot we go, and that's going to be team 125
from Boston, Massachusetts, Revere, Brookline, and Bostonland High School. It's the Neutrons, 26-8 overall. We're the finalists at the North Shore District event. So after a finalist performance at the Palmetto Regional, 125 started their New England District season at the North Shore event. They seeded third overall and were selected to join the number 2 alliance. They battled their way to the finals to take home their second silver medal of the season. 125 plays as much as anyone, and they'll be back in the field this weekend again at the Rhode Island District event. So I'm sure we give Christine the opportunity to talk about 125 a little bit, but congratulations to them, where they also picked up the Chairman's Award. So a great event for you guys, Christine.
It's a clean bling.
Yeah, we got the Kling Bling. It's very exciting.
Silver gold.
Yeah, so it was a great event. We used our own bag time to kind of try something out with our double lift. Didn't go as planned, so we definitely kind of battled our way through that event and took home the silver. But the students have some redesigning in the works for this week for Unbag before we head to Rhode Island this weekend, so should be good.
You guys are so busy. I don't know how you guys do it. You're just all over the place all season, all the time.
Yeah, make every moment count. So,
So I did a little research because I looked up the Boston Latin School. It says it's the oldest and the first public school in the United States.
It is. So it's funny because Boston has a lot of little gems like that hidden throughout the city. But yeah, that was our founding school as well for the Neutrons. So
that's amazing.
Cool.
Yeah, pretty cool.
Wow.
How many events are you guys doing this year? 1, 2, 3, 4.
It'll be 6.
Yes.
5.
And they host their own event too.
It's gonna be 6 because they'll go to the New England District Championship, I'm sure. So.
Yep, and then 2 weeks ago we hosted the Southeast. Well, we helped run the Southeast Mass District event. So next week is the only week that we won't be roboting. So that'll be our nice little break.
But through the whole thing,
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, congrats.
Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so moving on to the 20th ranked team, one of our favorites, Team 4039.
Absolutely, they are from Hamilton, Ontario, Canada, and St. Mary Catholic Secondary School. It's Makeshift Robotics, an overall record of 26-10. They were the finalists at the Georgian and the Ryerson district events. So, as you said, it's one of our favorite teams. Makeshift Robotics has really been making their mark not only in Ontario but FRC over the past couple of years. Coming off the finalist appearance at Georgian Bay, they this past weekend. Or 2 weekends ago, they looked for that gold at Ryerson. They would rank third and captain that second alliance. 4039 plays the switch game so well, as well as playing some good defense and disrupting opposing alliances on the other side of the field, which is really hard to do. So congrats to them. They got the silver there. So 2 events, 4 medals. They took home the Kling Bling at their first event, silver, and then they earned another set at Ryerson this past weekend for taking home the district chairman's award there. So this week they earned the silver gold medal. So anybody you talk to about Makeshift Robotics just has nothing but good things to say about them. They're just awesome people. They're so giving. They're so loving. And it's just you can't help but just root for them. So I just really been watching them maintain like the steady course. Like they're not just like a blip in the screen. We see them for 1 year, and then, like they go away. Like they come back and they're here off, and they just do a great job.
Coolest shirts in FRC, by
Absolutely.
the way.
Oh, yeah,
it's
definitely.
So cool.
I want one so bad.
Yeah.
Do you guys know how they make those, by the way?
And
yeah, they sew each one.
They told me at IRI that it was one of their lead male mentors. Like he went and sewed all of them, but they the team owns them and they kind of pass them off to a member each year.
Cool. That's nice.
Because I pretty much begged them and offered my firstborn child for one of the gray, black, and white ones because they're so cool. I love that team.
I think I got one of those. Sweet. So that was makeshift. Where are we? Perfect. So that was 20. Into our 19th spot we go, and that's going to be team 225.
From York, Pennsylvania, Techfire Robotics of York, it's Techfire. 32-5 overall, with winners of the Springside Chestnut Hill Academy District event. So 225 upgraded its finals performance at the Greater DC event earlier this year by a winning performance at Springside. They're the number two seed and paired with the Aluminum Falcons in 11:68 to take down the number 5 Alliance in the finals. 225 is fast enough out of the gate to make a 2-cube auto look easy and have enough time to even grab the 3rd cube before the pre-programmed instruction time ends. So 225 will play once more in Montgomery this weekend before March Champs, and certainly hopefully on to the Detroit Championship after that. So 3 weeks in a row for 225. That might be a top 25 record.
It could be, might be. And that's just that's how these teams just consistently do well. Right? If you can put 2 cubes on the scale in autonomous and the other team maybe misses it or doesn't do it, I mean, it's game over at that point, right? Like,
it is. Yeah.
It's just so hard to come back from that. And it's just, if you can do that well and do that consistently, then you're just going to find success. And that's what we're seeing with all these teams.
Yep.
So you're saying we have a game that's done in like 10 seconds?
Could be.
Yeah.
Depends on the match, but
it's so true. There's so many back and forths, but you're right, Mike. There are some matches where it's just like, well, that team's not going to be able to ever overtake that. It's like, well, we'll try to play the switch game, and then you're never able to overcome that sometimes.
Yeah.
But it's really it's mistakes. This game is about mistakes, right? I mean, it's literally what it is: mistakes and your efficiency.
Definitely, and penalties.
and penalties.
Penalties.
I didn't have too many at CIR at Central Illinois this past weekend, though. But I heard some other events were pretty rough.
Yeah, I could show you one.
All right.
All right. So where are we, Mike? 18.
18.
Yeah.
All right. Our first local team, local to me and you anyway. Team number 1507.
From Lockport, New York, and Lockport High School, it's the Warlocks. An overall record of 13-4. They were the winners of the Finger Lakes Regional. So the Warlocks are known here to kind of Justin and I here in upstate New York as always just really producing quality, heavily competitive robots. And this year has been no different so far. So they have an effective grabber that can take the cube at any orientation, come in square, can come in at the angle, on its top. They can just place cubes well and autonomous and as well during teleop. Their climber is a hook that's on a winch, so they can kind of deploy it and back out of the way, allowing kind of a stiff arm climber to come in and just kind of co-climb with them. So at Finger Lakes, they were ranked 5th, and they were selected first overall by Team 340 and go on to win the regional there. So congrats to them, and they'll compete again next weekend at the Buckeye Regional. So congrats to 1507, the Warlocks.
I like that term, co-climb.
Co-climb. Yeah.
Co-climb. It's a little different than, buddy climb, or it's a co-climb. I like that.
And a lot of times it is, because 340 and 1507, like, they timed it. It wasn't just one went up and then the other. Like, they really had to kind of dance on the on the platform there and just kind of really go up together, because I don't think it would have worked really any other way. So congrats to them.
For sure.
So that was our 18th ranked team, 1507. In our 17th spot, we have team 4613.
From Sydney, New South Wales, Australia, and Barker College is the Barker Redbacks, 31-5 overall, and were the winners of the Southern Cross Regional. So a 6-banner season last year included a Woody Flowers Finalist Award, a Chairman's Award, and 4 regional wins. And they followed that up with a great start to the 2018 season with another win, and this past weekend a finalist performance. So I really struggled to find video of this robot in action, because I really want to go into a little bit of how, arguably one of the more effective shooters in FRC right now, how they really fared and how they ended up playing the game. But we know their shooter is super effective. We know from their videos they have some multiple autonomous modes. So as those, why is everyone saying Baker?
They meant Barker. I accidentally slipped the giveaway I started. So.
Oh, okay. So I don't know. Did you guys? I didn't have a chance.
Baker.
We competed this weekend, so I didn't.
I did watch them.
Yeah. So what'd you see?
Yeah, so Barker had a little bit more of a rough go at their second Australia event. I always forget which, if South Pacific or Southern Cross was right. I think Southern Cross was the first one, South Pacific was second. But so they paired up with Raid Zero in their first event, and it pretty much just dominated. They looked real good. They were scoring real well. The one concern I have about Barker, honestly, is that because of the type of robot they are, that they're a low robot, in finals matches at South Pacific, they struggled a lot. Now, I talked to Jester, and I know they had some issues going on, but it seemed like they spent a lot of time on the scale and were having issues scoring on the scale after a while. And personally, looking at it, and everything's hindsight, and Jester's a fantastic coach, but like I was curious why they weren't going over the switch from those reasons instead of wasting a lot of time going on that. There also was, unfortunately, a misused power-up in one of their matches that they boosted the scale on accident, but they didn't have possession of it. So a couple mistakes, but the robot itself, it looks really slick. Their auto overall performance well. Like I said, a little bit of issues in their last regional. Stuff happens. But going into the championships, I really am looking forward to seeing how they modify their strategy to see, yes, they should go for a scale for a couple, but then I just see that robot dominating the switch and just completely lights out, doing really, really well.
Yeah, and I think that's where, and I might be wrong, but I feel like that's where a lot of these shooter robots are gonna end up being a championship. Because again, and I'm gonna talk about it a lot later, but placement of the cubes on the scale is going to be very, very important. And I just don't know if the shooters are going to be able to have that precision. But like you said, they're going to be they're super effective in the vault and in the switch as well. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out and how that transitions. But another great year so far for the Barker Redbacks.
So I let it slip here, but Barker's been very gracious enough to give us a polo for a giveaway, and they will ship anywhere. So now you don't have to just be in Australia. So if you'd like to get a Barker Redbacks polo and you don't know why people are typing Baker or Barker in chat, go ahead and type Barker in chat right now. That will be your chance to win. We'll let that run down to the top 10 will be our next break for that. Go ahead and type in Barker. You do have to either follow our channel, so click that little follow button if you're watching on desktop, or on your phone, click follow. Or if you're a subscriber, if you are able to give us a couple of bucks a month to keep fun going, you do get 5x chance on giveaways, and you'll get a 5x chance on this one. So go ahead, and if you can sub, if you can afford it, we appreciate it. If you can't, that's all right. Tell people about the show. That's the way you make up for it. It's by getting other people to watch our shows as well. But we love you, subscribers. Thank you so much. It's Suspicio. Just resubscribe for 13 months. That's the type of amazing dedication that keeps fun going. So thank you so much. And Rickmaster Flex just subscribing with Twitch Prime, which you can do for free. So Rickmaster, thank you for your Twitch Prime sub. So even if you can't, even if you don't have a few bucks, if you got Twitch Prime or Amazon Prime, you get the sub for free. If your parents have it, you can sub for free. Yeah. Thank you very much, everybody.
So am I eligible to win this giveaway? You're probably going to exclude me. I'm probably permanently excluded.
I don't know. How do I do that?
What, permanently
excluded?
I do know how to do that.
that should be the Bat Hawk hashtag. The giveaway. Permanently excluded.
Right?
I hope you are included. I just want to see how long it takes you to actually win.
I know. For those two others who just subscribed as well, thank you.
Yes,
guys.
thank you.
So we'll give that away at the 10 break. All right. Cool. Moving on, 16.
All right. In the 16th spot, we have team number 230.
From Shelton, Connecticut, and Shelton High School, it's the Gale Hawks. An overall record of 32-4. They were the winners at the Waterbury event and finalists this past weekend at the Southern Connecticut event. So the Gale Hawks were ranked 19th last week in our poll, and they move up in the rankings after their finalist appearance this past weekend. In Connecticut. They finished third with a 10-2 record and would be selected by the number 1 alliance. Put up a good fight, but just couldn't get past the number 2 alliance there in the finals. They go for the 2 cubes there on the scale, and they just play a nice game all the way around. It can just really hang at the end. So nice work to the Galehawks. Always just kind of make their way somehow in the top 25 year after year. So congrats to them. Christine, coming from the New England district, do you have any thoughts or inside information on the Galehawks at all?
Yeah, so they've been a really solid team for as long as I can remember. I have been in New England my entire FRC career, and even back in high school, many, many years ago, they were a prominent UTC team, always bringing out solid robots, and not just robot-wise, but, they're a chairman's contender every year that I look out for. They're just a really well-polished team. They have a really great media presence, and the mentors there are just, awesome, super supportive, and their robots are pretty awesome every year. So I wasn't surprised to see them win Waterbury, and it was definitely we were watching the Blue Alliance live scores throughout the weekend, and it was pretty crazy to see them kind of keep up with 195 for a while. So cool. I was happy to see them. I'm excited to see them at district champs. So
for sure.
Can I give a plug for Blue Alliance, by the way? That is such a cool feature they've added this year that if you can't watch live, you can click a button and get the live scores for any event, and it's delayed 10 seconds. It's absolutely incredible.
I was so impressed when I saw that for the first time. I was like, wow, that is crazy cool.
I actually haven't used that yet, but I will be now.
Check it out, Mike.
Yeah. Great deal. Cool. That was the Galehawks in 16th, and our team in 15th is going to be Team 1756.
From Peoria, Illinois, Limestone Community High School, it's Argos. 16-2 overall were the winners, the Central Illinois Regional. So Argos took the field this past weekend. At the end of qualifications, they were at the top of the leaderboard. The robot features an intake that passes off to a high pivot arm that they use super effectively to score on the scale and the switch. So it's overall a great machine. 1756 has been pumping out great robots for the past few years. They've certainly got another one this year. If you haven't seen it yet, you can check it out at the Seven Rivers Regional, where they'll be competing again. So good luck to Team 1756, Argos.
So I was at Central Illinois where this team was competing, and really just consistent team. They had a couple issues early on with their grabbers. So they have their intake. The way it works is that they have an intake roller, right? And then it actually goes into a claw. So it's a two-stage process that they go through. But once they started getting that down, they're just very consistent. You'll see them in the upper right-hand corner of the screen right here, that once they start moving, it's not the fastest robot in the world, but they just pick place, just keep on going. A little bit more difficulty on the switch than they do the scale. That transition process for that is not as fast as what other switch bots can be, but their scale works really well, and it made a really good alliance partner with the Roboteers, and they were going back and forth. Those two teams were actually tied in RPs the whole way, but Argos was just more consistent getting the auto switch than what Roboteers were, because Roboteers, which we'll talk about in a bit, spoiler, would go for the switch or go for the scale first instead of the switch, so they'd miss that occasionally. Argos was very consistent with that, and just builds a really good robot. And the people who make up that team, I had a chance to meet them after the event, and I know a couple of them on this really good team. They build good machines, and it's just very consistent. If you watch this play, great consistent gameplay from Argos.
Sweet. That's cool. I love that, that we can all bring something, for the events that we're at and kind of give us some inside information. So thanks for that, Tyler.
And Joel, the Central Illinois Regional was a very fun event. It always is one of the best venues I am seeing for. Absolutely.
Sweet. So Tower, thanks for that recap. It's always, we try to do the best we can watching videos and stuff, but it's so much better when we have some people that were actually at the event that could speak a little bit more about these teams. So thanks. All right, in the 14th spot, we have team number 1477.
From Conroe, Texas, and College Park High School, it's Texas Torque. An overall record of 21-8. They were the winners at the Lone Star Central Regional. Where's Caltran? Tyler's doing the updates. That's 2 weeks in a row.
He's on his way to Las Vegas. He's going to be my backup MC there. So.
Okay, good, fair enough. All right. So this is Texas Torque. So competing at week 1 at the Dallas Regional, they were ranked 47th and exited there in the quarterfinals. But good teams know how to win. They know how to iterate. Coming out this past weekend, they would take the number 1 seed after ranking 47th at their prior event. They'll go 11-1 here at the Lone Star Central Regional. So selecting their alliance, they would have no trouble taking home the gold. They can place a cube on the switch or the scale on auto, can take cubes off the floor or from the human player. They have a unique pivot, kind of 233 arm, but mixed with like a telescoping arm. Great work at bouncing back, and good luck at the Houston Half Champs for them. And congrats as taking home the EI from this event. So they had the gold silver Kling Bling. So congrats to 1477.
Kling Bling emotes in chat.
Torque. One of the best, as we always say, one of the best logos out there for sure.
So this event that they were at, I think, got overshadowed a lot, and it was one of those where there was a lot of other events going on. And I think in Texas, this might have been viewed as one of the weaker events in Texas. So it's really cool to see at 1477 still got the recognition that they deserve for having a great robot. And the Lone Star events, one team I want to mention on here, and I actually don't even remember if they're on the top 25 or not. So if I'm spoiling something, I truly don't remember. But the team they lost against, 7179, who's a rookie team that we've talked about previously, Crossfire, who won the Rookie All-Star Award. They're another team from that area that you need to keep an eye out because they're going to champs now, and they were a top-notch Vex team. I think we talked about them a couple of weeks ago. And so that team and Torque, both fantastic robots. So keep an eye out for those as you guys go to Houston Championships.
Mm-hmm. We're going to be talking about them in a little bit, I believe.
Are we? I actually truly couldn't remember.
Well, kind of, but not
okay
because they're on
okay. Oh, okay. We'll get to that.
Yes. All right. So that was our 14th ranked team, 1477, and our 13th ranked spot. It's going to be team 5406.
From Hamilton, Ontario, Canada, Bishop Ryan Catholic Secondary School, it's Celtics, 15-3 overall, and we're the winners of the Ryerson District event. So the Celtics machine features a simple wheeled intake and a quick elevator. In the finals, 5406 was tasked with keeping control of their own switch, and they were to fill it up with ease and assisting 1114 on the scale when needed. So 5406 is one of those teams that has access to a practice field, constantly iterating. So more driver practice, more auto programming is going to keep this team ever improving as they get ready to finish up their district regular season at the McMaster District event before certainly the Ontario Provincial Championship. So congrats to 5406 Celtics.
Sweet.
So the second Canadian team of the list or third?
4039.
Second.
There might be at least one more.
Maybe.
I don't know who you could be talking about.
Me either. So
what are you doing?
With that said, we're on number 12.
Yes. Tyler, it wouldn't be the FRC Top 25 without awkward silences.
Weird, awkward pauses.
Yeah, it would be.
I really, another bad hawk. Good thing would just be dead air. Dead air. Yeah, good.
Dead air.
Good.
That's a good keyword, right?
That's right.
Yeah. And yeah.
All right. So in the 12th spot is team number 1986.
From Lee's Summit, Missouri, and Lee's Summit West High School, it's Team Titanium, an overall record of 17-13. They were the winners this past weekend at the Greater Kansas City Regional. Justin and Tyler, I guess. 1986 went unpicked at their first event this season.
Right?
I just can't believe it.
Yes.
Well, their elevator broke. I mean, the robot literally was like almost not functional. So
right. But still, the fact that that happened to them, unpicked after just the enormous success they've had over the last couple of years. Yeah. But like I had mentioned one team ago for me, and with Texas Torque, good teams know how to keep their head down and just keep moving forward. They would come back this past weekend and they would come and take the number 1 seed, just like Texas Torque did. And going 9-3, they would go on in 9 during qualification matches. They would win in the playoffs in 6. They can place a cube in the scale or the switch in autonomous, and it looks like they tried to elevate some of their partners. Again, just the quick sample size of like kind of looking at finals match 1 and 2, and then 1 or 2 of their qualification matches just doesn't look like they quite had it down. But I could be wrong there. So they have a little bit more work to do to get back to their standards, but just awesome bounce backs so far on the season for them. They do have one more regional coming up that they'll be competing at. That will be the Seven Rivers Regional. So
shaping up to be a good event, by the way.
Yeah, for sure. So congrats to 1986 here at the 12th spot. I just couldn't believe that when I was looking kind of at their thing. Unpicked. Unbelievable. But
like even with any difficulties, right? That's just on
yeah,
paper,
like
that's just so shocking.
just despite whatever the reason was, I just can't believe how identical it is, right? So 1986 was 46th at their event. It went unpicked, and they bounced back, and they took the number 1 seed and were to win. And then Texas Torque was
quarterfinalists, I think.
And they were 47th as opposed to 46th, and they were quarterfinalists. So that's just so like weird coincidence, as Kramer would say. But cool. So congrats to them. That was 12, and on to our 11th spot is going to be Team 2791.
From Latham, New York, and Shaker High School, Shaker Robotics, 33-4 overall, are the winners of the Central New York Regional. So after starting their season with the Central New York win, Shaker competed this past weekend at the Tech Valley Regional. After sitting first, just as they did in Central New York, they picked Team 20 and Team 36-24 and had to later call in 51-23 in the elimination rounds. Shaker's ramps were once again a big reason why they're able to take that top spot after qualifications. And though they just missed out on their second regional win of the year, they certainly look tuned up and ready to make a run at their division at the World Championship in Detroit. So 2791, a great machine that I was able to see up close in Central New York. I watched some of their finals matches. It looks like their alliance just kind of that third pick wasn't super reliable enough for them. Had to call in a backup bot, and them in 20 just weren't enough to overcome that. But a great machine, and good luck going forward to 2791.
So as we're coming up on our top 10, because we're going to have a little bit of break here, one question I want to pose to you guys, and we can cover a couple other things first, are these robots that are the lifter bots, but don't lift themselves. So they require 2 other robots to get on top of them to get the points. And I really, really, really question if that's a viable strategy going into the championship playoffs. What do you guys think about that?
I don't know. I mean, it's something that we talked about early in our build season, whether we wanted to do that, and we actually kind of looked at it a little bit the opposite way, Tower. We thought in regionals, the odds, the I guess not saying it, there's not a really nice way to say it. I guess the quality of robots at regionals are all over the place.
Yes.
So if you were in your average regional, the odds of getting 2 robots on top of your ramps during any average qualification match, we thought was going to be very unlikely, right? You have so many different situations, and if you can't get up, and when your alliance members can't get up, you can kiss that ranking point goodbye right off the bat. You have no hope. So it was a risk, but it looks like now that, hey, maybe that at regionals that wasn't necessarily a terrible strategy, and then in the elimination of the championship, where hopefully the quality of robots is a little bit higher than at your run-of-the-mill regional, it might actually still be not a terrible thing. So,
but the time that you're taking to get that, you're using all 3 robots in the alliance, is that worth 60 points in the elims?
Yep, that's a great question. Yeah, in elimination rounds, that's probably not. You're absolutely right. Because and that was another thing we looked at, like, hey, in the last 30, 45 seconds, our entire alliance is going to be doing nothing but trying to ramp up and give the other team,
right,
full reign of the arcade for 30 seconds. I don't know about that.
Oh,
the
Karthik quote. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's a great point, because even some of these quote unquote close matches end up being 150 points apart or whatever. But there are those ones that are really close where it would be beneficial, where maybe the switch or the scale is only 1 or 2 cubes away from being balanced the other way. And if the team still has the force or the boost there, that could really do some damage there at the end if all 3 robots of the other alliance are all tied up trying to climb there. So I think it's match dependent and alliance dependent. I think if that's going to come back and like hurt you, but it's a really interesting discussion for sure.
So a couple of people in chat are like, "Oh, our ramps are really quick, or Shaker ramps are quick." That's irrelevant, really.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter, because you're still taking the time to have those 2 robots park on your ramps, right?
It's the lineup time.
Exactly. And the unfortunate thing is that there are just not some intelligent drivers out there. And especially, at championships, you hope, I guess, that field is deep enough that your third robot of your alliance is good at driving. But at regionals, is that 24th robot always going to be able to get in that ramp in the timely manner that you need it to? I don't know, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's certainly something to keep an eye on going forward. That's one of the cool things about this game. I kind of have it on this slide, so we can kind of move into that. So, what stage of gameplay are we seeing here as far as the meta game goes? Where are we in the mid game? Our teams are finally starting to figure out. I didn't see some super high stacks at Finger Lakes this weekend, but I don't think Finger Lakes is particularly a super competitive event. So I don't know what you saw, Tower, Central Illinois. Were there double stacks, triple stacks? Did you see a lot of scale scoring? Kind of where were we at here?
Yeah, that's a great question. So we're starting to see full scales, but that whole double stack you're talking about, I think what teams there, because it was the first event for some of the teams there too, that I think the evolution of the scale game is that pick and place, right? And this is where I think shooter bots fail, is that if you want to build, and I think it's what you're kind of alluding to, Justin, is that if you want to be able to get enough cubes on there where it's going to be super competitive, you might have to put, I mean, how many cubes does the scale fit like on one level? If you were to nest them all, is it 8? Something like that?
I want to say it's I think it's 6, but it might be 8. I thought it was 6 though.
So regardless, you're going to need more than that, right? And if you just start shooting them up and now the cubes are in different orientations and that sort of thing, our producer Nick says 9 if all of them are vertical. Right. So it's probably what 9, so somewhere between 6 and 9, right? Depending on what it is. So if you're going to be picking and placing that way, if you're just shooting them randomly up there, if you're not paying attention to how you're placing them, that I think is your next challenge to your driver. Say, great, you got them up there. Now we need to start actually like orienting these cubes the right way and being able to stack them on top of each other.
Yeah. So
go ahead, Mike. I was gonna say, even with the ones that, even with non-shooters, ones that can somewhat play, place them, whether it's with an outtake or just letting them go. Like even when you can get that close, you have so much trouble. So shooters are like at so much of a disadvantage because you're just launching it up and hoping. Like teams that can kind of try to fit it where they want still end up knocking another one off, or they let it go and it just dribbles off to the side and falls to the floor. So
it's Central New York. When I was watching Raid Zero play, we were talking about them pre-show. They were one of the best robots there. If they would have just slowed down the speed at which they were spitting out cubes, they would go up to the scale and they would spit out the cube and it would just launch over the plate onto the other side. Yep. Like it's just, things like that. Teams have got to get better at kind of getting the cube placement right.
That's so true. So go ahead, Mike, and then afterwards, I'll say we're going to be doing the giveaway for the Barker thing just a little bit. So it's your last chance to type Barker in the chat, and make sure you do follow our subs. Subs get 5 chances to win.
So kind of the other, I guess, theme that I've noticed, and we kind of had mentioned it last week or the week before, is just that it's really kind of like, I think we're seeing most of the time your switch is kind of yours, and then it's really kind of a battle for the scale, and then what happens in the end game. And as you mentioned, those teams that can place 2 on there and just really, give yourself that advantage at the beginning, like that's kind of it. And we're just seeing like, I don't know, just matches end way earlier than when the clock hits 0. But I don't know if we're going to see anything change from there, or at the championship level, we'll see more of a battle for the opposing switch. But
yeah. All right, Mike, what do you got for your snub of the week?
So I actually have 2. I have snubs of the week.
Mike, snubs of the week.
So first one's going to go to 2168, the Aluminum Falcons. Their first event, they were finalists. That was the Southeastern Massachusetts event. And then this past weekend, they went from the New England district to the Mar district, and they were the winners there at the Chestnut Hill district event there. So we will not see 2168 in the top 10. So they're my one snub of the week. And then my second snub of the week, Tyler had just mentioned them before. That's Team 7179, and that's Crossfire. Just really had made a lot of head stirring, and just kind of the way they play the game at the Dallas Regional, where they lost in the semis to 118 and 148. So that's always, that's obviously a tough battle there. And then they played again this past weekend at the Lone Star Central Regional, where they ranked 3rd, and they were finalists there, and they took home the Rookie All-Star Award as well. So that's my second snub of the week.
Yeah, and it's hard for rookie teams, right? Like we understand that, but I thought there was enough buzz around this team where enough people might watch to notice them too. So I agree with you, Mike. I think that's that. And I seriously, like when I mentioned it earlier, I'm like, I actually thought they were in the top 25 for a second. So it really surprised me not to see them somewhere in there. That was a little surprising.
Hey, Mike.
Yeah, go ahead.
2168 won Southeast Mass. They
won.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. missed that. So winners at Southeast Mass and winners at Chestnut Hill. So
they have 2 district wins. Yeah,
2 district wins. Thank you for correcting me.
Yeah.
So snubs of the week to them too. So that's what we always say, to go out and vote. And the other thing too. Here's my other little side rant. This is only gonna take a minute.
I love a good side rant.
Because we've already had about 20 of them so far. Is I have not posted on Chief Delphi in like 2 years, literally, and I have been reborn like a phoenix rising from the ashes. That's for Justin. About like, you know, teams that like just basically calling the FRC Top 25 a popularity contest, and that like resparked a new debate and all this kind of stuff. Nobody like has ever said this is the official top 25 rankings in first. Like nobody has ever said that. We've never claimed to like have said that. Like I don't really like, you might think otherwise because of this rant, but I don't really take that personally. Like the whole goal of Justin and I doing this from a while back is just to like talk about good teams, see what's going on around in FRC, and just hang out on a weekly basis with people that love robotics. And I think that's what we've been doing for a while, and I just have really enjoyed that, and I really do still enjoy that. And looking at this top 10, we say this every week, that you could interchange like any one of these teams for the top 10. And so many of these teams do the same thing and do it. They all do it well. Like they place cubes in autonomous on the scale. A lot of them do that. And they play a really good game. They keep putting cubes on the scale. They don't like, they're just consistent. Like there's so many teams out there that there's no way they could all fit in the top 25. So there's going to be a lot of good teams that aren't mentioned. So the snubs of the week kind of help with that. And we just always just say, like, we just encourage you guys to vote and spread the word of first updates now in the FRC Top 25. And just like, we're here for fun, and we're here just to kind of just talk robotics. So I don't know if anybody else has anything else to add, but
the only thing I'll add is that, you know, we're obviously getting more and more votes. If you look at where we were, look where we were 2 years ago when FRC Top 25 and Fun combined. I mean, guys, we were happy we got 100 votes, right?
Yeah.
Like, and now we're hitting 400 for things. So to a certain extent, you know, we're always going to miss it. There's more teams in FRC. There's always going to be stuff that gets missed no matter what. And, you know, I've reached out there. If you guys have a solution that is easily implementable that we can look at, we'll consider it. But the reality is nobody's provided a really good option for it. So I don't know what to tell you guys for that. And, you know, that to have 400 people vote for these, I think it's a pretty good aggregate of what the representation is. Will it be perfect? No. No matter what, people are going to complain. That's the reality of it. And we understand that. But if you're going to complain, please present solutions. If you don't, I really could care less about what your scrub mouth talks about. It doesn't matter to me.
Yeah.
So present solutions, and let's work together to make this the best thing we can.
Yeah. It's the top 25 based on the people who voted. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's what the top, it's a top 25.
That's a great way to put it.
You know, so it's like, of course it's going to be not accurate because it's going to be the people who voted. So I don't know.
The only thing that's really kind of impressive to me is the teams that are usually in the top 5 or so never vote for themselves. Right? Mm-hmm. You don't open up the sheet and see, like, you know, a ton of people from 1114 voting. They get up there kind of like just, you know, based on the votes of others. It's really impressive to me that, you know, most of the other teams get a lot of support from their own team, which of course we encourage. But those top few teams just always get on the support of everyone else, which is like crazy impressive to me.
Yeah. And it's hard. We're so regionally based, right? A team that's big in your area or a team that does good, like it's impossible. There's a zillion events, and every year there's more and more. So like I said, 1507 is known in our area. If you ask somebody from the West Coast about 1507, they're going to say who, you know, and like that's just going to happen like all over. So these regional recaps have been made to kind of highlight more teams from the geographic areas of the country and of the world. So hopefully that, you know, even more teams can start getting some recognition. But this is just going to be the top 25 of the people who voted. And that's that's it. So
that's what we are.
Yep. So that's it. And we have fun. You know, this is great. Like, you know, we got into this just because we love robotics and we love talking about it. And that's why we still do it. And it's just great meeting you guys all at events and just talking to you and all that kind of stuff.
Absolutely.
I'm really excited that you have this team and not me.
Well,
Just
before
next
that,
week?
let's do a giveaway here, guys. If you
All right,
don't
let's do
mind.
it.
So we're gonna be giving away the polos, or one polo from Barker Redbacks on there. The winner is Mike. Oh, it is actually
Don't say that. I looked over. You're a jerk.
That's
Gray Phantom Delta. Congratulations. This person's won before, and then, you know what? When you're a subscriber, you tend to win more. So congratulations and thanks for being a subscriber of First Updates Now. And by the way, please, many rigged emotes in chat because Gray Phantom's won before. Clearly, we rigged this for that person.
Rigged.
Congratulations.
All right, let's do top 10, eh?
I'm ready for it. So in the 10th spot, we have Team 1577.
From Rananana, Hamarkaz, Israel, and Rananana and Aviv High Schools. It's Steampunk, an overall record of 29-6. They were the winners of the Israel #1 and the Israel #4 district events. So coming out swinging for the power-up season, Steampunk furthered their week, one winning success by matching that at the #4 event. They were ranked first with the 9-2 record, and they would win the event in 6 matches. So 1577 Steampunk, they can place a cube on the scale and autonomous, and just really makes quick work of the cubes after that, either on the scale or the switch or through the vault. Sometimes all of them in the same match, just getting the job done no matter what needs to happen there. So and then they can hang there at the end. So just a really nice robot coming out from the Israeli district. Congrats to them and good luck the rest of the way. I know they had made I think the top 25 at least a couple or last year, right? Because of the Steam theme or something. Or
That sounds right.
Yeah, so they're definitely no stranger here to top 25.
Yeah,
so
and we get some huge representation from Israel coming in. By the way, when they have events that come up, Israel shows up in numbers, and it's awesome. We love our audience from Israel. We get big support from them, and it's been growing more of like looking at our how many people follow us on Facebook, that sort of thing. Our Israel numbers keep going up and up.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's cool.
And I just want to cut in, by the way, we do have a new emote coming, and it's probably going to be a weird Livy crazy emote if we're in a suit or something like that, but we are only 13 subs away from another one on top of that. So we're taking suggestions, by the way. If you want to see an emote of something that you want to put in chat, go ahead and type that in. We're open for suggestions.
How much for the Barker shirt? You can make some serious money off that.
It's already negotiating trade deals here.
I have mine. I wouldn't sell for anything.
There you go.
There you go. All right, so that was number 10. In our 9th spot, we have Team 67.
From Highland, Michigan, Huron Valley Schools is the Hall of Fame hot team, 24-13 overall, and we're the finalists of the Milford District event. So 33 and 67 have tangled twice in the finals, once against each other, and this past weekend playing together in Milford. 67 used their buddy lift well and allowed them to take that top spot. The Alliance struggled a little bit in the finals, but take nothing away from the hot bet. They are good and use their buddy lift, and the use of their buddy lift will put them in the high seat at any event that they attend. So Troy is up next for the hot team, before certainly the Michigan State Championship and then the first championship. So if you guys got a chance to see those finals matches in Milford, both, 33 and 67 both actually looked a little off, and the Blue Alliance was just cooking, really attacking the opponent's switch. And it's like we kind of were talking about earlier, if you get a little bit behind, it's so easy just to get buried in this game.
Yeah, so scores aren't always indicative on how teams are, but I know from talking to Nick Cousins, who's our First in Michigan region recap host, that on Intimidation, thank you, that I know 33 had a lot of issues with their bot in the semifinals, and it translated into the finals. And I think that's really what it came into, is that 67, I think, was still performing decent, but 33 was just having major issues with their robot, and I think that's what led to that. But big upset to, and congratulations to the number 5 Alliance there for taking the victory at Milford. That's probably one of the biggest upsets on paper that I've seen in a long time.
Yeah, no, and I kind of mentioned that later, I think, with a further team. But
gotcha.
Yeah, Justin,
I'm stealing your show here, Mike. I'm sorry.
You are. Just take over.
It's your show too. I'm just letting you know.
Oh crap.
Oh no. Justin, that may be our new word of the year. Cooking.
Cooking.
They're just cooking. Out in the Bobby.
It's our next emote.
Cooking.
Cooking. Mike and Justin in the morning was actually going to have a cooking show one day.
We did. We still
Oh,
haven't made that
man.
happen yet.
Dude, we can make that happen.
Like,
I mean,
let's draw
there's no
robots. We
reason.
should have let's cook food.
Can we have that, Christine? Can we have that on the side? So you draw robots on one screen, and then Mike and Justin will cook food on the other screen, and we'll show that together next to each other.
There you go.
I like that idea. I think that we should do like weird, innovative methods people use to cook or reheat food during build season too, because I'm sure there's some weird stuff going on up
we
there.
talked about that.
It's like a binging with Babish show, but first wise.
That's funny.
All right.
All those build
So let's
season
move on.
hacks,
Nick, thanks.
Nick, shut up.
All right.
Nick's
In
got
the, eighth,
a plane to catch.
in the eighth spot, we're going to go out to the West Coast and talk about Team 330.
From Hermosa Beach, California, it's the Beach Bots. With a record of 13-2, they were the winners of the Los Angeles Regional. So no stranger to the top 25. The Beach Bots make their 2018 debut here at number 8. They ranked 7th after their qualification matches, and they were selected as the number 1 alliance and would win there in 6 matches. A stereotypical kind of 330 bot, very similar to the robot from 2 years ago. They can place 2 cubes on the scale in auto and play a really nice, efficient game after that for teleop. Just again, from the few matches and the little bits that I did watch, their ramp also didn't quite work too well, but we'll see if they can get that consistently going for their next regional. So congrats to the Beach Bots out there. And I will actually, my wife and I are going to San Diego / Los Angeles in May. So
Nice.
I was looking up how close they were. I was like, oh, where are all these teams? And I was like, oh, Hermosa, Fernando.
Hermosa Beach, California.
Yeah, all
Hermosa
those-
Beach is somewhere around there.
So I'm excited to be out there. It's gonna be a good time for sure.
I wonder if somebody can confirm in chat, but I heard that Beach Bots had a reprise of 2016. It was actually like tipping over at points and then righting themselves again.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
So if somebody can confirm that in chat, that'd be great.
One of the,
Because
like,
I didn't get a chance to see it.
they did look. I mean, as a lot of bots do, they looked a little top heavy at one point. I was like, oh, that's why I said it looks so familiar to the robot from 2016 because that happened. And I was wondering if that did happen or if they had the ability to do it.
Dude, look at these referees on the screen. Wow, that's a lot of enthusiasm. Nick, can you rewind like 10 seconds there?
No.
look at this. Let's just watch this for like 20 seconds. Is this real?
Nick, go to the end of the match.
Yeah.
We'll
Wow.
also talk about it's not a pin, but okay.
This is like a
It is
a
now, but it wasn't
WWE
earlier.
match going on here or something.
Nick, could you go to the end where they're climbing? I think it's in finals match 2, where they're like, when
I wish I would. We just had Frank Kuziak, who's a head referee and an Einstein referee on, and I wish he would have saw this because he's a very eccentric person as well. This would have been great.
Can you skip forward a little bit to when 330 puts their ramps out? Oh no, too far.
So this is what you're talking about, their ramps having
Before
some
that,
issues?
even a little further. It's when
Oh.
I think, yeah. So this is what I was talking about with their ramps. It's
Okay.
like right. It should be right around here because it just they were like in sync of like with their tech files and like all three, like they're all looking at the same robot. You know, like granted, nothing is happening on the left side of the field.
Oh gosh.
Somebody put ref trying out for the Oscars.
Anyways, we're not making fun of them. It's just,
No, we're not. It's just funny. So it's not making fun of them in particular, but
yeah, so that's what I was talking about. With like, I think this happened. I saw this in, I think
like
in
it
both finals
else, yeah.
matches, the robot ends up on its side. So I think they got a little work to do there to get that going. But
looks like a game of Family Feud going on.
I love it.
Oh, where were we?
yeah, so we're about to talk about our 7th ranked team. That's gonna be team 340.
I love that we just go from like
I know.
talking, joking,
I
rock,
know.
right into
and
it.
and scene,
Bang it at number
right?
7.
So let's do it.
We have the awkward moments and then just like the other awkward moments of just
That's right.
avoiding the awkward moments.
yes.
Beautiful. All right. So from Churchville, New York, Churchville Charlotte High School, it's team GER 32-3 overall. We're the winners, the Central New York, and finally the Finger Lakes Regional. So team 340 is a great machine, quick intake, fast elevator. Drive team is super smooth. But I really want to talk about is the monkey that they get off their back this weekend. Team 340 went to the finals of the Finger Lakes Regional in 2007, 2009, 2011, 2012, 2014, 2015, 2016, 2017, and then this past year, 2018. 5 years in a row, 9 total trips, finally captured the Finger Lakes Regional win. A perfect ending to just a great regional season for them. And, I was on 340 for 10 years with my good friend Mike here. We were part of several of those finalist performances on their drive team, and just we couldn't be happier to finally see them win. So congrats to them, and we're all kind of looking forward to see which field they end up on in Detroit. Good luck to Team 340.
I mean, 340 is really hanging with the best of them. Obviously, seeing here at 7. They have a really, really good robot. I mean, the inconsistency in this game is huge, right? They can consistently place a cube on the scale and autonomous, and then they can also then do a scale and a switch in autonomous, and then they just have a really fast elevator. They play a good game. They can climb. They can co-climb with somebody if the mechanisms are right with each other. And Justin, you nailed it, man. It's just, this was a long time coming. 5 years in a row taking home a finalist medal. Kind of like and there's a lot of teams in our area. So this is a hometown regional for a lot of teams. But to finally win that one here, man, I'm just so happy for them. And just that, like, we were 2011 smoking Minibot away from not only winning that regional, but then also beating 2056's streak. So yeah. I mean, this goes back a long time of so many close calls.
I can tell some good stories on each one of these finalist performances.
Yes. So. Spearbot in 2007. Like, yeah, it's just yeah. Yeah, right. We were burning our food. We'll save it for the.
He just chimes in.
Yeah, nobody else can hear him. That's what's. Yeah.
All right.
So congrats to them. I mean, seriously, like they're looking really good. They should do really well. And Justin, I'm gonna pull it up. And not only that is because I was kind of mentioning it with my teams, right? We're seeing like 2.2, 2.3 ranking score average. The ranking score average for 340 at this event was 3.3.
Wow.
So their first 2 matches, they scored 4 ranking points. To start, they scored another 4 ranking points, 2 more times, and so 4 out of 10 matches, 4 out of 11 matches, they scored 4 ranking points. So for 3.33, it's just awesome.
That's without a buddy left too. So I mean, they got really fortunate enough to get with some partners that could co-climb with them.
Yeah.
So that
also,
really cool
their ownership was about 150 points more than the number 2 rank. So that's just shows how much domination they had at that.
Yeah, they look really good. They really do.
Yeah, they look as good as any team I've seen so far, really.
Yeah, I agree. I really agree for sure. Just play it really well. So congrats to them.
All right, moving on to the 6th spot, we have another favorite team, team number 33.
From Auburn Hills, Michigan, and Notre Dame Preparatory School, it's the Killer Bees. An overall record of 30-6. They were the winners of the Southfield District event originally, and they were finalists this past week at the Milford event. So the Bees debuted this year at number 4 after their win at the Southfield event. They looked for their second gold of the season this past weekend. They went again 67 at Southfield, but here at Milford they were selected by 67. This kind of duo that is either they're always together or always against each other. Just cruise sailed to the finals where they only managed, like as we talked about, to put up scores of 115 and 160 there in the final. So it sounds like some trouble. You said by 33, right, Tyler?
Yeah. So 30. I was trying to look up Nick Cousins' notes in the region recap show, but if you look at the Intimidation show that was on last night, Nick talks about some of the troubles that they had, and he'll admit himself, by the way, I was actually a little surprised to see 33 in the number 6 position just because of the troubles they had, but clearly people are still looking at the bigger picture of 33 to see how they do. So I'll look up those notes in a second here.
Mm-hmm. So this is kind of crazy power up for you too, kind of what happens here, and just even the good ones fall. So but still they have a nice robot. Go ahead.
I was going to say he wrote that they had a Talon analog port failure, which allowed them to not be able to drive fully. They broke the lift on the scale because they couldn't drive, and he also believes that probably because of ESD, the electrostatic discharge, that there might have been some issues, but not confirmed on that.
Interesting. So when they are driving properly, they kind of have that really nice swerve drive there, and just great maneuverability. So congrats to them. Hopefully we'll see some improvement there as they go forward in this district.
All right, so we got a giveaway here at our top 5 break, but I don't see anything else on this slide. So
That is it.
I'll go ahead and take that. So,
sure.
So we have 2 giveaways actually to do for this. So,
Purposely
first giveaway, yeah. So we're gonna do these separate.
Can spell it.
We're gonna do these separate, by the way. So, first off, Christine, can we see your drawing there again? Because this is one of the giveaways that we're gonna be doing here. This is just badass, seriously. So,
It's so good.
So it's 971. Put that cat up really close up there. 971 lifting a little bit lower. 971 lifting a cat out of a scale. So, I mean, this is original artwork, guys. This is stuff she's going to sign and send out to you. And if you're interested in more of this stuff, this cool custom work that she does, check out Wordplay All Day on Etsy, or you can find them on Facebook as well, because these are really, really cool. So we're going to be giving that away. And there's another giveaway. We have the Bathawks. Cue that up. That we do the 4-pack of Bathawks from Team 1720. These guys, you need to check these out. They've been selling like hotcakes off of AndyMark. And essentially, they'll just tell you what your voltage of your battery is. Immediately, you plug them in. They don't drain your battery. You can leave them in for a long time. And if you plan on being in the playoffs, you need to have these Bathawks so you know right away. They don't replace the battery peak. That tells your load. This tells you if the battery's good to go for that match. So, if you would like to participate in this drawing, you have to either follow or subscribe. Click that little follow button up there, or subscribe if you really want to help us support and create additional content. You can subscribe for free through Twitch Prime, or for $5, $10, or even $25 a month. You want to be that tier 3 sub like we got last week. Yes. And what you have to do is go ahead and type in the word champs. Go ahead and type the word champs in the chat right now. You can put it as many times as you want. You only get 1 entry, but our subscribers will get 5 times luck for the giveaway. So once again, champs, we will roll twice and get us 2 winners right after we announce the number 1 selection.
All right.
Dead air.
Spam away. Spamming my own.
Purposely discluded.
I gotta get the real entry in there too, though.
Good job.
Purposely discluded. All right, so we're gonna roll for that at the end, correct? You probably just said that.
Yep, we'll roll for it after
it's lost in the chat.
Yep. So you gotta stick around, guys, after number 1's announced.
Alrighty, so that's gonna take us into our top 5, and starting us off is gonna be Team 195.
Hey, that's one of mine. From Southington, Connecticut, Southington High School. It's the Cyber Knights, 16-2 overall. Were the winners of the Southington District event. So 195 is a powerhouse in the New England district, and they showed they are ready to start hot this year with the district win right out of the gate. The robot looks super skinny on the field, but the impact it makes is quite large. The wide intake deals with cubes in any orientation, and their elevator can put cubes on cubes, even in the rare times when they're losing that scale. So last year it took a few events for 95 to get cooking. That's the new one, right? With their early success, this year, they hope to surpass their division finals performance of last season and maybe to make another trip to Einstein. You can catch 195 coming up, however, in the short term at the Hartford District event. So yeah, right out of the gate, 195 picks up a win. It took 3 events, I think, last year, 2 or 3 events before they got their first win. So they're ripping and ready to go here.
Yeah, no doubt they're going to be a top team going to the championships.
Yep. Oh.
By the way, if you have predictions on the final 4 teams, go ahead and put those in the chat. And if you get them all right in order, who knows? Maybe we'll give you a shout out. That'd be pretty cool.
That would be cool. I don't know if I could. Nah, I probably wouldn't be able to get it right.
I don't know.
Even though you did 3 and 1. Yeah, probably not.
I'm saying if I just kind of knew the teams but didn't necessarily know the order, I'm not sure I'd be able to get it.
Right. Some interesting picks, by the way.
Yeah. I was kind of waiting to see if anyone else would kind of chime in with some guesses. It's coming through now a little bit.
Yep.
All right. Well, maybe do the top 3, and we'll at least talk about the top 4. And stop here in the 4th spot and talk about 2481.
From Tremont, Illinois, and Tremont High School, it's the Robotiers. An overall record of 33-1. Only 1 loss in the season. They were the winners of the St. Louis and the Central Illinois Regional. So we saw the Robotiers last week at the 9th spot. And after this performance at Central Illinois, may have improved here to the number 4. They were ranked third with an 11-1 record and were selected number 1 overall. 6 matches were all it took, and they took their third banner home of the season as they took on the Chairman's Order, and they were the winners of the St. Louis Regional. So, Tyler, you were there. You were the MC there, so fill us in.
Yeah, so I mean, I always feel like a broken record because you guys know I love the Robotiers, and what a fantastic team they are. They won Chairman's. They got the double gold clean bling, winning Chairman's in St. Louis with their regional win. So they've already got their ticket punched, right? Here they go, coming in, screaming in to the Central Illinois Regional, and I kind of alluded to it earlier, but the only thing that kind of hurt them in qualification rounds is that because they would score on their scale first. In autonomous, they occasionally would miss the switch, and that was kind of the key thing. The other thing that they're missing right now, though, is a climber as well too. So I'm curious on what modifications they might make because going to championships, I know they're going to see high, but their autonomous overall has been pretty on par. They usually will always get at least 1, sometimes 2. They even got 3 once at the Central Illinois Regional. Their driving is incredible. The sword drive they have is just nuts. They have a fantastic pink arm that just allows them to just pick and place where they want. So I got big plans. I mean, for 2041, I know they got big plans too, because the team of the robot, the way that their coaches that they have, and the way that they're just set up as a team, it's hard for me not to gush about them because they're so good, and it's just really what it is. To see a team come out of nowhere, I think they're the new 111 in the Midwest, and they're really starting to solidify that. Like those guys in 1986 and a couple others that are coming out there, they're the elite teams in the Midwest now, and man, you got to watch out for them. Not to mention they're playing 3 regional events in a row, by the way. With Wisconsin next week as well too. So I'm really sad I'm not going to see them there because I'll be emceeing Las Vegas and not at Wisconsin. But guys, I mean, if your radar is not on this team, you really need to be watching them and their matches.
Yeah, it's a great point because when I put on the shirt today, I was like, oh, 254, 973. Whatever kind of happened to Wildstein, they've fallen off the radar a little bit. And 2481 has certainly kind of moved up and taken their place.
Yeah. I was gonna say, yeah, 3 regionals in a row can either be kind of really good or really bad, right? If you're performing well, you don't need to make many changes. It's good. You just keep it going. Your drivers are in the rhythm. But if something's not going right, you got to kind of do a big redesign. That you don't have that kind of buffer where you can kind of work that stuff out. So
yeah,
that's good for them. Cool. Top 3. Let's do it up. So thanks for that, Tyler. And our third spot here is going to be Team 971.
From Mountain View, California, Mountain View High School, it's Spartan Robotics, 14-2 overall, and we're the winners of the San Francisco Regional. So some robots are really, really cool. Some robots are super effective. In my opinion, 971 has perfected the cool and effective robot design mantra with what looks like to be an industrial arm that you might see in any factory mounted on a drivetrain. The fast motions and smooth positioning make this one of the most finesse robots I've seen take the field this season. We've talked about a lot so far this kind of FRCTop25 season, plus on this show right now, or on this show tonight. Going forward, this game is going to hinge on team's ability to place cubes accurately, neatly, and limit those mistakes. I think for 971 to come out with a robot is kind of, I believe it looks simple. I think it's a pretty complicated robot. Needed a lot of programming to control. For them to come out and look so good in their first event, this robot is best suited to really go far at the end of the day. So I'm really excited to see this robot improve as they look towards the Silicon Valley Regional next weekend, but even further out to the Houston Championship. So it's just, I'm glad Christine chose to draw it tonight because it's one of the coolest robots I've ever seen.
It is.
So maybe our third snub of the week could be 973, the Greybots. Because there was the Alliance there at San Francisco was 971, 972, and 973.
Yeah, that was crazy, by the way.
And 973 was actually the Alliance captain. They ranked first with a record of 15-1. So we might have to add them to that list as well.
You think they're a snub? I don't think so.
You don't think so? All right.
Nope.
I'm just going by what I see. I was watching Finger Lakes. So.
You're saying 973 is a snub?
It might be.
All right.
I mean, 973 picked what?
We might talk about
number 1.
We might talk about them a little bit later.
There you go. Hey, I didn't look ahead. I could just play it off that I knew what I was talking about.
There we go. All right.
All right. Just want to go.
All right, let's go. All the drama's in the 2 spot, right?
All the drama is in the 2 spot. So I'm just going to scroll back here and see what people thought. So I don't think
anybody got it right.
Nobody got it right.
Oh
well. All right. So all the drama is in the 2 spot. Mike's going to talk about our last Canadian team and team number 1114.
From St. Catharines, Ontario, Canada, and Governor Simcoe Secondary School, it's Symbotics, an overall record of 17-1. They were the winners of the Ryerson event. We saw Symbot Smokescreen debut this past weekend in the Ontario district there, and they would wind up 11-1 in qualification matches and be selected first overall by 54.06 and would take the win in 6 matches. 1114 is an intake that can take cubes and place them forwards or backwards out of the robot. We talked to Caleb earlier, kind of some iterations that they're going to go from here. They have the fast cycler with an elevator. We only have the one video that I could see on the Blue Alliance. So that's kind of where all this comes from. But it was great having Caleb on the show earlier. Just kind of getting that inside from them. So we love the Symbots. We'll see them again this coming week or next weekend at the Windsor Essex event. And congrats to them. Love talking about them. Love watching them. Love hearing how they iterate. Love hearing how they. It was just great having him on the show today. Just to kind of get that inside view of. Like I mentioned earlier, that Symbots practice what they preaches, and it was great. So congrats to them. Number 2 here on week 3.
Well said. So that's that said. We're down to the number 1 spot, guys.
And that being said, our number one team is going to be Team 973.
From Atascadero, California, Atascadero High School, it's the Gray Bots, 15-1 overall, and we're the winners of the San Francisco Regional. So last year's South World Champs began their quest to defend their title in the Regional by the Bay after seeding first, again, like many teams we've talked about, using their buddy lift successfully. They picked 2 teams that I think registered with first, maybe just minutes or days ahead of them, teams 971 and 972, and that alliance was lights out in the playoffs. They kept alliances under 255 points in every match and under just 200 points twice during their playoff run. So it was a great performance for the Gray Bots, of course, and you can catch them again in action at the tightly contested Silicon Valley Regional, where not only will they have a chance to play again with 971, but 254 will also be there, throwing them in the mix. But congrats to your number 1 team for week 3, 973, the Gray Bots.
Nice. Thank God it wasn't 254. They didn't play this week. They're not eligible.
Bummer. Thank God.
I quickly, I just real quick, I saw somebody in the FRC Discord ask about why we do it where you have to play that week, and that you guys changed that a long time ago, right? It was just because always was the same 25 teams every week. And let's get more recognition for these teams, and we do a championship poll at championships so they can get that recognition for being on top.
Yeah, I think it was. I don't know, Justin, if you can speak. I think a lot of it was because we wanted to be able to talk about more teams, and talking about a team 3 weeks and saying the same thing over and over again, right? So a team that maybe competes week 1 and week 5 or week 4, just like there's no updates, right? Just to say, oh, and they're still here at number 2 because like it was just more. It was just a better chance to hear about more teams and keep everything fresh and kind of up to date.
It was kind of, there was some jockeying in like the 20 to 25 spot as new teams got in, but really the top 10 was like the same each and every week. So it needed to change. I'm so happy we did it though.
With that said, guys, as we mentioned, we had almost 400 votes in the poll. Keep on voting. Get others to vote as well, too. Let them know about what's going on. We've already posted the link on our website for what the vote link is going to be and in our Discord as well. The polls aren't open yet, but you'll have that link ready to go. So go tell others to vote for the FRC Top 25. So we're going to be wrapping up in just a moment here. But with that said, let's go ahead and do our drawings for our giveaways. Once again, we have that fantastic 971 drawing from Christina Tia and Wordplay All Day. You can go ahead and check out her site, which is up on the screen right now, and look at all this cool stuff. Nick, can you scroll down a little bit on this? Like, there's so much cool stuff. And Christine, I don't know if you want to jump in, but you told me that you've actually you're starting to see people wear this merch at events. How cool is that, right?
Yeah, it's super cool. So at North Shore this past weekend, I saw a kid wearing a TSI MFD snapback, so that was pretty cool. And then Woody was at our event, so I awkwardly went up and gave him a sticker of the quote that he said. But
should have given him a TSI MFD hat. Put that on his head.
And you should have walked up normally. You didn't have to do it awkwardly.
Oh. Just all
Go ahead and check that out and all the cool stuff on Wordplay All Day. So let's do that drawing first. Congratulations. The winner for that is going to be FireCrafty1018. Congratulations. You have won this exclusive, one-of-a-kind, badass drawing from Christina Tia and Wordplay All Day. Thank you, Christine. And get some rigged things in chat. FireCrafty, make sure you message me here in Twitch or on Discord in order to get that. And we're also going to be now doing the drawing for the Bathawks. So let's pop those up on screen so you can check those out one last time on here. And the winner for the Bathawks is going to be Kenji Devon 2227. Congratulations, one of our followers. You have won the giveaway for that. So make sure you message me and we'll get those shipped out to you. And thanks a lot to Wordplay All Day and Team 1720 Fixed Gears for these fantastic giveaways. We really love having these. And if you guys are interested in doing a giveaway, we'd love to have your team t-shirts. If you want to do a giveaway for that, let us know and we can give away your t-shirts just like Barker Redbacks did with their polo earlier in the show. We got a bunch of different shows we can do giveaways on, guys. And we just love to be able to help promote your team. And people tune in for free giveaways, so you get even more recognition for your team as well. So with that said, I'm going to wrap up the show, guys, if we don't mind. As we look around here, I'm going to be at Las Vegas Regional emceeing out there, so go ahead and say hi to me. I'd love to talk to you about fun and first as well. Is anybody else at events this week?
I am not. No.
Not I. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. Yeah.
Christine, are you in an event this week?
Yep, we're at the Rhode Island district, so we will be competing against 2168. Will be there. This will be their third event in a row, so a lot of other good teams too.
We should just default. So, like, Christine, where are you competing this week? You don't have to ask.
Somewhere.
Yeah.
Also, our producer Nick is going to be at the Colorado Regional with 148. So go ahead and you can actually hear what his voice sounds like, and then you'll realize why we don't let him talk most of the time.
Yep.
Just kidding. Nick. Love you, buddy. With that said, guys, we look forward to seeing you at events out there. Go ahead and say hi. We'd love to hear about what's going on. Don't forget to post your feedback in Discord and on FRCTop25. Just be constructive with that as well. Thank you to everybody who's watched. If you want more First Robotics in your life and you like what you do, all you got to do is let her know about the show. Say, hey, come check out First Updates now. Come check out the FRCTop25. Check out the region recaps. Check out Funanalysis. Check out all the other cool stuff we have going on with our shows. We got a few bucks. Hey, we'd appreciate it. Let us know your appreciation by shooting us a tip, some bits, or a subscription as well. Guys, we dump everything back into these shows. It's not like we're millionaires off of doing this, far from it. But yeah, right. It does cost money to produce these shows, and we really appreciate everybody who has stepped up and taking the time. If you guys are watching as a team, hey, we'd love if you just pitched us a couple bucks to provide your team entertainment for a few hours. Hopefully that's worth it to you, and we'll keep making it worthwhile in the future. On behalf of myself, Mike, Justin, Christine, Pauline, and Nick, I'd like to thank you for tuning in, and thanks to all of our moderators in chat for making this possible. No Fun After Dark tonight, guys. Both Nick and myself who are producing have early flights to catch out to our events, so we will make it up to you next week. With that said, thanks for tuning in the FRC Top 25 and First Updates Now. We'll see you next time. Talk to you then.